Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse casts this side of your Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 vs 3 on Trivian Groves. Playing on Team 1 as the Chaos Space Marines, we've got Dopamine Bandit, we've got Rave playing as the Imperial Guard, and we've got Reaper God 36 playing as the Tyranids. Whereas on Team 2, playing as the Space Marines, we've got Empty Rage 42, we've got G.I. Jeff playing as the Tyranids, and we have got Topper playing as the Eldar. So, Trivian Groves, a bit different from how you would normally remember them. Now, you know, people who've been playing this game for many a moon will know that there is an entry point on this side of the base and that side of the base. Same for the players on the southern side as well, but also, one addition that they've added, those clever map-making people, is that they've made a bit of an opening in between things. That means that the players in the middle of this long, cucumber-shaped styled base, they're able to get out and about, see the world. They've also got a sign as well. How cool is that? Does the other side have a sign as well? No, you don't. You've got it on the other side, but not on this side. So take that. That's because you're Tyranids and you don't deserve it, or something like that. Either way, Chaos Space Marines. I remember seeing down on this little build order queue thing, they've gone for the Mark of Nurgle. So up over here against the Eldar. Eldar going to struggle a little bit maybe to potentially shake them off the central points, especially if the Imperial Guard come over and do some defending, although I imagine the Imperial Guard will want to be sitting down in the middle. Although that being said, there's nothing really to defend in the central points. Unlike here, where there's like, you know, a slag deposit and some relics and such, it's just kind of like a bit of a barren wasteland, so to speak. Maybe this is worth defending, I suppose. But occupying the centre means that will prevent G.I. Jeff and his Tyranids from going around and flanking both the northern and southern sides. Also got the Tyranids on the southernmost side, the green ones up against Empty Rage's scouts and space marines and such. Already got one squad, tactical marines in the heavy cover, just in case. They've also got a fist with fists inside of it. Yeah, you like that? You like a fist? How about a fist inside your fist? So you can fist while you fist. That was a DMX reference. If anyone remembers that meme from way back when. Guardian Defenders, they're trying to go up against the Chaos Space Marines, and they're being punched royally in the chops. I've got some cultists going to tie up the Guardian Defenders as well. Guardian Defenders, they're alright. Not terrible. But in close combat, they are definitely lacking the passion to be able to take on that Chaos Space Marine. He slices them down good and proper. More Guardian Defenders are on the way. Relatively cheap at 35 blue. Not as cheap as the... Oh, bloody hell, what's going on? It's a bit of a mosh pit. Raveners just mincing around everywhere. They decide to run away from the monster energy coloured Raveners of Reaper God 36. And the Eldar are well and truly shaked off from this little section over here. But so too are the Tyranids on the southern side against the Space Marines. So map control is even across the board, with the exception of the sheer mass of conscripts up in the centre. Not sure who you're trying to slice. You're on their side, leave them alone. Got some brown coloured Raveners coming in now. They've got the size, but they have not got the numbers. Don't feel like as if they've got the momentum to really take them on, but they're going to scare away the fully qualified guardsmen, leaving the Imperial conscripts to be up to their shoulders in wetness. It's a push that they're giving a go. And here is a Termagant squad, been spawned forth from the sky, no doubt. And a tunnel by Reaper God is going to be focused down to prevent anyone else from coming to the front lines. The fully qualified guardsmen are being stabbed slowly but surely to death. We do have a medic in there to keep them alive for longer. Morale being broken. While that's happening, the Chaos Space Marines are chasing around these Guardians. Plenty of cultists be doing the dirty work for the Chaos Lord while he starts chomping down on that listening shrine. Over down here as well, we've got a bit of argy-bargy. Plenty of spine gaunts up against nary a sliver of tactical marines. Soon to be 5. Can 5 Space Marines hold back the chitinous tide of the... I was about to say Tyranids then. Completely different faction. Completely different setting. Tyranids, that's what they're called. And you know what? I didn't expect them to push so far in, but look at them. They've done it. They've escaped using the tunneling powers of the Raveners. And a big push using the cultists, but I assume that the Eldar are taking up. Yep, they're taking up. Going for that support portal, and I assume some Vipers. Some AoE damage with their shuriken cannons and such will kill those cultists very quickly. But for now, they're at least giving a little bit of map control. Down here, though, it seems that the Space Marines managed to hold the line against all the odds. Now going to mass around this strategic point. But not while the Tactical Marines are ready. Maybe going to funnel them down this little choke point. That's 3 squads, actually. I should prefer 15 Space Marines. That could probably quite handily take care of all these spine gaunts. Especially when they've got the flamey flames. Powerful grenade. Just a thin white line. And that's already a squad of spine gaunts more or less taken care of. Raveners get involved in close combat, but the Adepts Astartes won't shy away from a close combat encounter. It's a beautiful thing to see. When they're all bunched up in close combat, that's them all stood together, morale's been broken. Look at that. Powerful, powerful stuff. Even more spine gaunts coming over, but that's not going to do them any goodness whatsoever. And there are the Vipers. No anti-vehicle stuff from the Chaos Space Marines at the moment, so he's got a free day, really. Should open fire and do as much damage as he can. Assume more are coming over. There's another one zipping and flying right on in. Quite like how there's like a... I know it's not an intentional effect, you're just firing at the water, but the water does have a little blue splashing effect, which happens regardless whether they hit the water or not. Looks like it was planned there. Yeah, the cultist's falling down very quickly. Even the Chaos Lord struggling to break the vehicle armor, as in Ultimate Apocalypse, vehicle armor is quite substantial. You need the correct damage type to do damage to certain units. Which is why anti-vehicle stuff is very important. Hormagaunts jumping in, but there's plenty of Termagants to cause them issues, and right into the tunnel they go. They must have been keeping up with the tabletop and how now Raveners have got their own little... Oh, whatchamacallit? It's the, you know, in 10th edition, every army's got their own flipping special rule for depending on how you want to play them. I should know this. Should know this because I read about it all the time, but I've completely forgot the word. It's going to really annoy me now. That's alright, that's okay, because the weapon servitors will make the Screamer Killers go away. Maybe we can get a Thunderfire Cannon. I don't think a Thunderfire Cannon will do much against the Swarming Tides. But the Space Marines... Oh no, your special weapons are already taken up by the Flamers. You're going to have to get a little extra something else. But it's a good job that they managed to kill a fair bit of the economy for Reaper God and the economy for the Northern Tyranids. And I must say, I really like this colour scheme. Is it a Tyranid flavour? Because that's where my brain goes. Maybe that's why I got confused earlier on. Plenty of firepower from the Devastators. And the monster Screamer Killer armour, while not as resilient to all weapon types as vehicle armour, there's no real hard counter to monster armour neither. Here come the Vipers. Where are you going? Oh, it's having a grand old time. Beautiful movements, and those Raveners crumbling on down. It's got some fast movement from the Landspeeder Tempest as well, so beautiful little bit of teamwork. They come down, kill some things, and zip right back on over. They've popped down a thermoplasma generator, but the Havoc Marines are out, and they've got their auto cannons, which should help them do damage against the Vipers for now. That seems to be Topper's mainstay of defense, is the Vipers. Also some Tyranids on the front lines as well. Zipping and zapping with a couple of missile launchers to break down the listening posts over on the southern side of Space Marines. I mean, you're doing alright damage with the flamers as well. Not terrible. Wonderful positioning for this heavy bolter turret as well. These weapon servitors just get in the way of the tactical marines. Definitely not what their programming was for. Huge assault from Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines alike. Smoke, fire. Viper standing diligently there. Actually relatively tanky, all things considered. Does not seem like that the autocannons are doing much damage towards those vehicles at all, which is a bit of a problem for them. They've also lost listening post here and are about to lose the listening post for that relic there. So maybe the Eldar and Tyranids can come over and cause some issues with decapping that. Raven's attempting to get a bit of a pushback, but pushback is not there. Won't do much for them. Oh, they're going around the sides for decapping purposes before then getting distracted, as is what Tyranids do. Havocs like fish in a barrel. Get them down while those conscripts do what they can as well. Yeah, that's quite sizable fighting force there. Space Marines are struggling a bit here, trying to take on the masses of the behemoths. And now there's 3 more down here. 4 more, in fact. Space Marines will definitely need to get some sort of bigger and better weapons should they wish to live another day. Warlock's been sent to their own doom. Or see a council even. They're quite resilient. Oh, force pushing all those boys away. Pray they do not alter the deal further. And the Vipers are also on the back lines, killing anything and everything that they can. And actually all these listening posts are being taken care of. How much economy do you have at the moment? Very slim amount, considering that you wanted quite a large army, which you did have. Had to separate yourselves away from the Imperial Guard. And now the Imperial Guard are standing on their own. Watch as the Vipers bringing in the rain, bringing in the pain. Poor conscripts. All they wanted was a big day out. And well, they got it. They got it indeed. Space Marines over yonder, or Chaos Space Marines even, they've got 1 missile launcher to their name, so more damage being brought in. See a council continuing their reign of force pushing. There we go. That's how you take care of the Imperial Guard, just a handful of Vipers. They are about to be flanked by the Chaos Space Marines. Unlike previous patches, heavy infantry do survive a lot more to the, what do you call, the shuriken cannon weapons. When you're up against 4 of them, 4 or 5, still will take it down pretty quickly. Space Marines over here are being bamboozled, but don't you worry, they've got the Gladiator Command Squad in shining white and red. And they've got Dragonfire rounds and Vengeance rounds, which do stuff. Are you anti-whatever? You're anti-something. Well, when attempting to escape from the Screamer Killer Khan effect, but he is just continuing. Here's a Shenanigans. And now G.I. Jeff goes around the flanks. Those tunneling Raveners. Really can't underestimate the maneuverability that those Raveners provide to a Tyranid player. Chaos Vindicator, they're absolutely ideal at blasting apart masses of infantry, regardless of whether they are soft infantry or heavy infantry. They need to sort out these Vipers. Chaos John has been tied up by the Seer Council. But Lord, someone come in. Tell us command tank. Now he's got some kit that's ideal for killing Vipers, but they're just going to fly away. Well, they're going to attempt to break down more of these Tyranids. Termagants, good lord. Clearly I just need to play more Helldivers too, which I think everyone does, really. Oh, that's a lot of Helifexes. Halifaxes if you're banking with a massacres. I suppose that jerk will go right over the heads of everyone outside the UK. You know, I don't mind. Sorry. You know. So that we're an Anglo-centric channel here. As I've said before, it's my right as a British man to know nothing about other cultures, and I plan to stick with that, gosh darn it. There's a lot of big boys, and not enough big toys with the Space Marines. They're going to need some help. Thankfully, though, the Eldar are going to come in. They've got their shooty bits. And we've also got G.I. Jeff. He's there. He's doing things. Hellfire Dreadnought. Ooh, Hellfire Dreadnoughts versus Hellfex. That's a mouthful that I dared say too quickly, too many times in a row. He's dead really quickly, but it's a cool contest of names there. Well, Empty Rage at the moment has got an empty army roster. Very little in the way of fighting forces. And even G.I. Jeff has just got lots of little ones, but little ones aren't really bringing the thunder to these Hellfexes. And off in the distance it seems... Oh no, Eldar are still making sure that the Chaos Space Marines aren't reclaiming their stuff, but going to be very careful as the bounce back ability with those Imperial Guardsmen and their tanks is going to be quite devastating. Also, double Chaos Vindicators should be able to squam bomb for any kind of armed assault that comes their way. And that's kind of things that I've become distracted. Or rather, just not willing to risk their lives. Again, for the same kind of angle of, if all these die, do you have the ability to defend yourself? Not really. You've got loads of big uns, but not lots of little uns. Space Marines can counterattack pretty hard. So maybe occupy the centre, wait for bigger and better things. Maybe wait for your allies to get a bit of a hold on stuff. That might be the way. We're here once again, but now with larger than life characters coming on in. Listening Shrine's been blasted to smithereens. A couple of Shining Spears, in fact. Oh, you're not Shining Spears, you're Vipers. You're slightly more bluer, therefore you are more shiny. Get a good angle off on this. Support platform comes out of nowhere. Those infiltrated webway gates. And here comes an assault. Are they going to get another teleporting tunnel in there? Ooh, off in the distance, little Eldari city. Warp Spiders at the ready as well to jump on in. Vipers might in fact be a little bit doomed here, but with every dead Viper comes more vehicle cap for Topper to make use of. And while amazingly good in the early to mid game, do fall off pretty quickly once the enemy gets some good stuff online. Now the Warp Spiders also got the Hornets killing vehicles with relative ease. Viper's just flying around. Also got the Space Marines reassessing, reaffirming their hold on the ground. Big charge in with the Vanguard veterans. Don't normally see them in any kind of match, let alone a match against the Tyranids. But they're there and they've got their power fists. Oh my god, they've been inspired by the sign that we saw earlier on. Many a fist, many a fun. That's the slogan, I assume. Coming in to punch a Screamer Killer to death. Hello Space Marines, what's your tactics today? How are you going to take on the hordes of, you know, evil bug monsters? Well, young man, we're just going to punch them. Punch them until they go away. That's a valid tactic. Also throw some grenades at them, just for good measure. And they're quite tanky. And the old Vanguard veterans. Do you have a medic in your ranks? You don't, but if you get a second artifact, you could. It would make you even tankier. But no, just gonna raw dog it with just their fists. And some flames as well in there. The Hellfexes feeling the passion, feeling the fury. As the Termagants are in the base again. That poor Raven have been blasted by the Chaos Vindicator. The Havoc's. Hey, it's a problem. I mean, the more they try and push out, the more the Tyranids are just going to come in and ruin their day. They're constantly having to fall back and defend their stuff, and they've still got, you know, missing stuff around. I mean, they've not got this strategic point, which is probably very frustrating for them. They've killed it. Probably want to look out for the turret or the tunnel as well. No, find the tunnel. Don't leave it. They'll bite you on the backside later on, quite literally. Oh dear. Well, remember that for later, boys and girls. That's an important plot point that we'll come back to in the future, I imagine. There's a chap. Look at him go. 1-on-1. Oh no, it's 1 versus 3, but still just as epic. He comes in, surrounded by greenery. Greenery and Shenanigans. Oh dear, it's just... There we go. He's dead, but it was a glorious last stand. And now just more and more. Oh no, this is friendly Tyranids. Spangots outnumber about 25. So what was that? Was that 3 squads? Like 75 Spangots just dropped on the heads of those Screamer killers. Mighty fine indeed. Giving the Space Marines a bit of time to defend on this little ridge. Also negative cover that the, well, at least one Hellfex is standing on. Even the Tyranids don't like getting their hoofs wet. Do you have hoofs? I'm going to say the hoofs. As my frame rate drops to practically 0. See what I mean? It's happened again. Oh god. Somebody sort them out. Thankfully, a Primara Psyker armed to the teeth with 4 priests and lots of zappy, doodardy nonsense. Huge damage. Tyranids getting the big sad right there. Look at him, just no chill. It's like a Kamehameha, but just doesn't stop. And that is the tunnel now finally finished off. There we go. Now they can focus on going forward. Still fighting over this relic there. Four spells will kill them one by one. Do quite a lot of damage against heavy infantry. Plenty more lads to defend themselves with. And Reaper Gunner said, you know what? No, I don't want little uns. My Hellfexes are going to be my little uns. Size is all a matter of perspective. Here comes some Gene Stealers sneaking around. I mean, I don't think they're going to succeed much. Yeah, they can barely stand up. But again, they're just running distraction. Vanguard veterans, they've probably got wankers cramped by now with all the... Sorry, I'll stop making fisting jokes. But just know that I could carry on. Just know that I could carry on. So it's Vanguard and Gladiators. Cream of the crop, the elite of the elite. But then, from the hive mind ships, come the Tyranid warriors. Good heavens. Got one hive tyrant. And the gibbering hordes. They're just not dying, are they? We do have a fire prism, but the fire prism is about to get munched and crunched by the Screamer Killer. Over here as well. What seemed to be a really strong opening for Team 2. Your Team 2? Team 2? Team 2, that's what you are. Doing really well originally, with, defending with a minimal amount of Space Marines. And there's Vipers going around and claiming a lot of Shenanigans, but now that Team 1 have stabilised somewhat, doing alright, but actually a counter-attack. So loads of Screamers up in the Space Marine side of things, but then lots of little ones over in this half of the map, so that's a problem. I mean, Screamers are probably not going to die here, but I like it. Big uns versus little uns. And over here, we have the Ancient Wraith Lord. A tall, fancy man. With a tall and fancy plan. Like your regular Wraith Lords, but with a powerful backhand. Sends that Field Commander Lieutenant flying in the air. Also got huge support platform Uber turrets. As we all know, the Eldari are secretly German. And Avatar Arcane just looking there, menacing. But while they're looking cool and stuff, the Space Marines are feeling a bit under the weather. Double fire prisms though do a heck of a lot of damage, but will it be enough? It will. Spoiler alert. We might lose a chapel barracks or a plasma generator, but these fire prisms do a significant amount of damage, also finishing off a Eldritch Spire. But we'll watch from the Eldar perspective just so we can see all their infiltrated stuff. Ancient Wraith Lord, wow, you're loud. Could you not be for 5 minutes, please? Thank you very much. Avatar. Yeah, see, that's a nice quiet voice for the Avatar Arcane. I like that. Softly, softly into my ears. Well, Fire Prism has sent things back. This Pharaoh Plasma Generator swapping hands every 5 seconds. Also got him regenerating his health, that's why he's covered in all that goop. Yeah, Topper just more or less swinging his Eldaria all around the map, using their superior maneuverability to support all his friends and family. And the Terminators, yes, there we go, that's what I want to see. Terminators, plasma cannons. The only way to build your Terminators. Thank you very much. Before I get any comments, I'm looking at you. You know who exactly I'm talking about. I see ya. Will I respond to your comments? No. I mean, maybe I will. Once a month. That's what they're getting from me, but right now, just no. Well, the Eldar pushed things back once again. And the Ancient Wraith Lord, well, your Wraith Guard, right. So one thing that the Eldar can have, rather than going for super duper mega titans, is they can go for, right, I'm sorry Eldar, I need to go somewhere else. Just to a team that's not as loud and obnoxious. Yes, okay, you're an ancient alien civilized race, but could you quieten down, please? But yeah, so they can get like a mass ball of ancient Wraith Guard, which do stupid amounts of damage. And are really hard to kill as well. So I assume that's probably the tactic here. It's going for really old troops. But potential for gas? Are you the nuke? No, you're just pheromones. Ruining people's days. Not really, Eldar. I'm knocking on the door of the Chaos Space Marines. Nurgle and all his feculent wonders are struggling. They've got the Chaos Predator out. They're really focused down those fire prisms as they're the main threats at the moment. Chaos Space Marines, Havocs. Yeah, see, I think the problem is that they've gone for loads of autocannons. Autocannons aren't really doing it for anyone. And they will get this fire prism down. But an Ancient Wraith Lord, 13,000 health to break through. Avatar of Cain, 30,000. They're just front loading their, well, they're fighting formations with big bads. There we go. Heavy weapon support team. Triple las cannons, it's a light show, baby. What's the best strategic position to drop Titan? G.I. Jeff, what have you got for us? What shenanigans? Well, you're constructing a super weapon, that's fun. Bridge carapace? We love a bridge on this channel. Does he mean a nuke? Is that what he's trying to say? It's pretty exciting. Will you need it? This created stronghold is going to go down, but the Hellsmith, no relation to Will Smith, is going to attempt to repair the desecrated stronghold. Fire Prism trying to kill him, but he will go down. I do believe that the Eldari may have just ever so slightly overstayed their welcome here. Yeah, the Avatar Cane is brown bread. Desperate Stronghold lives. Very good stuff. And all these fire prisms are going down one by one. Here comes a mighty Bane Blade. What kind of variant are you? Maybe just a classic. Well, a Stormblade. The big zaps. Well, plasma isn't the zappy weapon, is it? But it makes me think of electricity. That's you. You're dead. But sneaky Gene Stealers. They're coming on in. I assume that G.I. Jeff has gone for all the upgrades. Ah, damn my forgetting to turn the graphics down. Hard to get an angle where the frame rate doesn't go down to absolute shite. I mean, even though they're upgraded, they're still not going to do much with them, to be honest. Maybe you are. Maybe you are. The Screamer Killers aren't enjoying themselves that much, and oh wow, that's a lot of Ancient Wraithguard. That is going to be a tough cookie to crack when you've also been supported by Terminator in the front line of Gene Stealers. Do have some zone threats there to counter potentially. I mean, it's just got to be charged into close combat, isn't it? That's the only real way you're going to stop the Ancient Wraithguard from ripping and tearing everyone on your backside. Well, the Chaos Space Marines and their Imperial Guard comrades, big red tank. I mean, there's, apart from the turrets, not much else to defend them with. There's a bit of a risk putting all your big units, well, not all your big units, but quite a lot of your Wraithguard over here, especially considering that they can't run away if the, well, if Team 2 lose their footing and have to retreat. Those Wraithguard are dead. But the Gene Stealers, all sneaky like, killing things in their own time. So maybe these guys might be best placed by going back down to the southern side and assisting and helping. Well, we've got some Chaos Terminators. That's always fun. Like the Tusks. Recently was gluing some Chaos Terminator models at the Landshark HQ, as they came with that Combat Patrol magazine. Always nice to once a month have a little delivery from the postie. Oh, the Basilisks quickly squam-bombed by those Gene Stealers. Our spy goes down. Hellfet's Carnifexes are not standing up to this kind of firepower. Even the Zone Throps are going to have a bad time with this. The Zone Throat Ball versus a Ancient Wraithguard Ball, and I think the Wraithguard Ball take it. So what do, modern men? Do you push forward or do you go back and defend? I assume defend. What picture have you got? You are that man. That's fun. Usain Creed or something like that? Can't quite remember. No, that's probably really annoyed someone in the comments, but I'm sorry, man. I have a bad memory. Chaos and mischief abound down here as the Wraithguard are all caught up in close combat. This is the time to really counterattack here. Demon Russ is coming with all the plasma cannons. Can ever want or need. We're going to build up some webware gates. I'm not sure if the Ancient Wraithguard can get inside the webware gate, but it'd be really helpful if they could, as this is not a tenable position for them. Yeah, just when you think that was going to be the unstoppable march. There, yeah, you can get in the webware gates, that's fine by it. Tyranids have also lost a good chunk, well, the green Tyranids have lost a good chunk of their outside stuff as well. Gladiator Command Squad is in a bit of a bind here. These guys aren't getting out alive. At least, yeah, just not trying to run away, so they will probably die at some point. But look at them go. Yeah, you can't kill them so easily. Now Chaos Terminators off in the distance. Ah, they've also got plasma cannons. Beautiful. That's what you love to see, really. The Tyranids will rebuild. They'll come back bigger, faster, stronger. And there's weeping. What are you? What is that sound? It's terrifying. It's like, oh my god, are they in the rafters? No, there's no like... No, right, okay. So I just thought I'd double check. Just the screaming of the hive mind. But exclusively in my left ear. Oh, that's because you're there. On the left-hand side of where I am. Right. That makes a lot of sense. Look at you go. You handsome boy. Well, let me see if I can hashtag you. Oh, the angle won't work. Either way, cool. How neat. Well, he's going to kill the Chaos base. While this Hive Tyrant just... He's having a real glow up, this kid. He's got his psychic shield. He's got his sword. He's practically a swarm lord in his own right. But with a whip instead. He's dead. But for a brief moment, it was glorious too. On the Wraith Guard, saying hello. There we are. Get a better look at him now. I mean, it's a bit of a silly shape for a Titan unit, isn't it? And what's going on with his back? Why is it so arched? He's not really that tall, is he, when you think about it? If you took away the back, it'd be quite short. Oh, there we go. Well, Chaos is dead. Space Marines holding their own down over here with the Eldar teleporting their support platforms all around. The Bio-Titan continues his reign of terror. But plenty of infiltrated guardsmen here who are casting airborne, that's why. Just a one-man disco, really, is this Bio-Titan. Hard to counter something that can just blast apart everything around it. Bringing down a mighty foot before he tusks them in the face. Sunfraps are off in the distance. And... oh, the general died. That's why even the buildings have lost their morale. They've gone on off, sniping away at the field commands and such. And yeah, you know what? It was a tight game. Towards the middle of it, I would say. The Green Tyranids doing a wonderful job putting a lot of pressure on the Space Marines. Same with the Imperial Guard and the Chaos Space Marines going around on top and those Eldar. But G.I. Jeff, you know, got loads of flanking manoeuvres on the Chaos Space Marines, keeping the base for a lot longer than they would have liked. And his base wasn't really all that bothered by all the attacks coming in. They're only really focusing on the Eldari and the Space Marines, so allowing him to basically make up a mega Tyranid, you know, enclave. Allowing him to get a whole bunch of economy, get the big boys out, and the biggest boy did come out. And now everyone else is just shafted. They're trying their best, but their best just isn't really working. And now he's bringing down even more stuff. The upgraded Gene Stealers, a really devastating late game tide. Just munch everything. Scything talons and grabby hands. Although, mind you, Reaper God is going to attempt to go for a Trigon. I don't think it's going to get out, and huge explosion. Oh, did you just teleport in? When could you teleport in? That's not how Bio-Titans work. Or is that like a part of your super weapon where you basically plop down a dude? I mean, maybe. Maybe put him in the tunnel one on the tunnel warrants. I don't know. Oh wait, that was sick. That's pretty boss, if you ask me. And the Baneblade dies pretty quickly. And also lightning. Someone. Well, there we go. That's the game. Rave. Dave the Rave from South Cave. He's going to go home and have a shave. And that was the game, so thank you very much for... I do believe it was Reaper God who sent this game into the Discord, but apologies if I've got you mixed up with someone else. And, yeah, cheers for watching. I've got a Discord, there's a Patreon, all good stuff. Link in the description. See you in a bit. Peace.